Hi, good day, sir. This is the Java code through tutorial for our Java project, CyberSpace Warfare. The game is basically a 2D multiplayer game which can be played over a network with only two players. One player will have to be the server, one player will be the client. The client will have to enter the server's name and then the connection will be made and the two can play a game. Now, I'll just go through class by class what exactly we're doing, and then I'll show you the actual game being played. Now, first of all, we decided to use Slick 2D because Slick 2D has an advantage in animation and using sprites, in which our game, heavily depended on. We first created the menu, which is we can have the choose robot, but first we created the main menu, which is here. Just a sec. Yes, this is the main menu. Now we're telling Java, okay, when this game starts, we want to start with the main menu, and the main menu will have basically continue game, where a player can who already has a previous profile can just continue the game and connect to the network and whatnot. There's also to start a new game, where the player can pick the character and then choose to connect to the network. This main menu has a couple of buttons and whatnot. We draw it to screen, and that's the main menu. We also have the help menu, where you can see how to play the game and what are the controls and whatnot. Now the choose robot is the class whereby we can actually choose the robot, and I'll show you an example when I'm finished. You can choose the robot, hover over it, you can see the attack and defense points of all the robots. And this is where Slick 2D actually worked well for us, because we didn't really need a game UI class, because Slick 2D provides state-based game, whereby you can just basically choose robot, and menu and help, they're basically states in the game. So we didn't really need the purpose for a UI, because they will all have to be a UI class. Most of the game is actually happening in the game engine, obviously, but first let me take you to the character class. Now this is an abstract class which holds all the attack and defense and the different directions and whatnot that each character will have to use. Now I'm just going to show you one character, which is Scorpion. Now we set name. Each character has a name, a level, and experience points. They can only go up to level 20, I believe. And these are arrays of all the images that we're using, the sprites that we're using for each left, right, for a punch, for an attack and whatnot. And this is where we set the duration and the animation is taking place. This is where we like Slick 2D, because when you press a key, it goes through all of these arrays, so it actually makes it look like the player is actually doing, the images are changing when you click a specific button and whatnot. We had 6 characters, so we had to create a class for each character. Now the levels class, basically we're telling them if your experience points reaches up to a certain point, certain level, you will level up and hence be given an upgrade in attack or an upgrade in defense. That's where we do here, and we only have up to 20 levels, after which you will no longer be able to upgrade. Now the server and client, basically we have 2 sockets. You have a server socket and a client socket. Basically they transfer the coordinates of each player, the one on the server, the one on the client, then they send the information through. They translate if it's a string, and if it's not a string, we check to see if it can be converted to an integer. If it can be converted, then it's obviously a command. And that's where we have a server client, and here we have the server class. Now what we found, one difficulty we had was that we could not send information over the network just like that because of Slick 2D. You can't send information over a state-based game. So we had to create a singleton class, which we named the data, whereby we can actually accept the values and put them into a hash map. Then we can send them over the network. Now the file class, the character storage, Basically, you have an array of all the attributes of the character, which will be stored in a file. We have their attack points, their defense points, and their level and the experience points. So every time you play the game, that information is being stored on the file, which is sent over the network. So the other player will know, okay, when he hits me, his attack is of this much. So when he hits me, my health bar will go down up to a certain point. Now we created a health bar in the game engine. The game engine obviously consists of everything, the technical parts of the game, whereby we're saying, okay, whatever character you pick, let me just go to it. Yeah, whatever character you pick, it will be put to the screen, and then we can choose the different sprites that you picked from the character that you picked, and we can move left and move right. The game engine does all of that. The attack, what happens when they attack, what happens to the health of the other player, or what happens to your health when you attack and whatnot. We also did the in-game pause menu here, whereby you can click escape and the entire game pauses, nothing happens, and then you click resume and then the game can continue. The player can only attack when it's in close proximity of the other player, which is kind of a limitation that we had, but we had to do it like that. Yeah, and that's it for the game engine. I did the levels, I did all the characters. Yes, and let me just run the game and show you what happens. Here we go. I'll attach a video right after this showing you an example of us playing the game. So when you run the game, this is your main menu with the create profile, as I said, whereby you can click on that and it shows you the next profile. Let me just click on create profile here. It asks you if you want to change a character because a character already exists. So you click OK, and you can click OK. I want to click Scorpion. You can see when we hover over it, we can see the attack and the defense. Now you chose Scorpion, and here it shows you Scorpion, the level, the health, the current experience points, the defense and attack. If I wanted to choose another character, I can choose Sub-Zero, and I go here and it changes. Now I can't run the game right now, but the video I'm going to upload right after this will show you the actual fighting. There is the help screen here, which has all the information on the help, and yeah, that's it. If you already have a profile, you just click continue here, and then you can choose server or client. If you choose client, you'll have to enter the server name. But now we're gonna go over to the actual game. Okay, what's basically happening here is we're both connected. You'll choose to either override the game, or you can just choose a new character. You choose a character, and then you can view the character's profile in view profile to see all the stats of the character. Then you'll need to connect to the network. Now Omar next to me will be the server and I will be the client. So I'll just type in the name of his server, which is the name I typed in there, and the game will start. Then we will fight, and there's the battling and whatnot. The health bar goes down, and then after that the winner is presented, and that's exactly what happens. And you can continue to battle after this.